Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode of the Success Chronicles. Today, excited to have Miss Amy Anderson with us. Awesome lady. Been blessed and fortunate to achieve some really neat things. And I'm so thankful to have her on this episode. So first, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles.
Man, thank you. Absolutely. It's great to hear about you and meet you and have this opportunity. I'm excited.
Well, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's get to it.
Well, let's dive into it. I know off air, we talked about your neat journey and the things that you've done. But if you don't mind, kind of sharing your journey and track your journey with the audience so they'll know who you are and what it is you do.
Yeah. Well, just looking at my life journey, I grew up in Mesquite, Texas, little town outside of Dallas, and the daughter of two educators. My dad grew up in extreme poverty, but he was the first generation in his family to graduate from college. And then he got his master's degree and he was a principal for 20 years. Back in the day when your desk was clean and your duties were pretty defined.
Yeah.
And so I learned a lot from him. And I think I first got the bug because he would let me go up there when the building was empty and talk on the announcements. So that was really my introduction into education.
That sets you up right there for success.
Right there. Pretending I was doing a fire drill. It's a really big deal. But just loved having him do that. And my mom was a school secretary, and people would always say, like, "Oh, are you copying your dad?" And I said, "Really, it's my mom that knows the way things roll, because that's school right. Secretary." Yes, as you know, but both of them great role models. A big piece of my childhood that is really an interesting thing is, I didn't mention this before when we were talking, but I was born with like a kind of a facial disfigurement, big old nose. Okay. And as I was growing up, I took a lot of grief about it. And, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And even when I was in second grade, I remember my teacher, we were doing a play and she was saying, "Who's going to play the witch? Who's going to play the witch?" And she scanned and she said, "Oh, I know who can play a witch. She looks like a witch and she acts like a witch." And she put me on front of the class.
Oh, wow.
Okay. But man, my mother, she taught resilience before it was a word. Yeah. And she just said, she didn't get upset. She didn't try to convince me of what I was or what I wasn't. She just said, "What's your name?" And I said, "My name's Amy." She said, "What is your name?" I said, "It's Amy Wilson." She said, "That's right. You're Amy Wilson. And if you're going to let that deter you, then, you don't know who you are."
That's awesome.
And through my life, even in my career and in my family, when I reach a hard time, she will still say that to me. Mm-hmm. Remember who you are. You're Amy Wilson, and you're going to keep going. And so, yada, yada, my last collegiate game in basketball, I got kicked in the face, square in the face in our playoff game. And had surgery. It's all fixed, but I have all that time. Magic of medicine. I have all that time really learning, to face fear and to face what people are going to, everybody's got something.
Yes, no doubt.
Right? Don't you think?
I don't care who you are.
That's exactly right.
No one's immune from growing through tough things.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I was lucky to get mine in, just get it in early, get started. at a young age, but I do contribute that to a lot of my ability to try and be confident inside and stay focused. So went to college, became an educator, played a little basketball in college, and just loved basketball my whole life. Really, athletics really kept me grounded and focused when I needed to be. And then graduated and became a teacher. I became a principal when I was 29 years old, thanks to my mentor that just really poured into me and believed in me. I still go to breakfast with him all the time. And then worked my way up. And when I left the school district this past year, I was chief academic officer for secondary schools. And I was so honored to do that. But that's just kind of in a nutshell, my life and my career.
That's awesome. Good deal. Well, what are 3 things you've accomplished in your life that you're proud of?
You know, they're going to be a theme to these, but I'm old enough to really see that these are what matter to me. I think a success is something that my husband said to me a few years ago. He said, I was talking about how, man, I hope our kids have role models in their life that they really can look to because of the impact that role models had on me. And he said, our kids need to look no further than the end of the table to see, you know, what hard work is and what caring about people is. And that is, to me, that was just one of the best compliments he could give me. I think another one is just being a working mom that worked her way up to the position that I did. And when I became a principal, I was single. I didn't have any kids. I started getting my doctorate almost immediately. Wow. And so I kind of did things in reverse. But during all this time, you know, I lived in Rockwall was a really small town when I started, and I was the first principal ever in the history of mankind that had a child while
being a principal.
While on duty. Yeah. Not actually on duty, but so when I went through, I had 3 in duties. So I had 3 kids and a husband that traveled and just trying to balance all that
while in duties.
Yeah. Part of the story.
Yeah.
I think probably my last success that I would say is in progress, which is reinventing my career right now and impacting in a new way and adapting and not slowing down because of the changes that I made to be there for my family during COVID.
Love it. You know, just hearing you talk about your journey, hearing you discuss the things that you're proud of, I would consider that to be hugely successful. You know, you kind of hit on success as far as not looking further than the end of the table. But is there any other definition that you have of success? Like, how do you define success?
You know, really for me, and I look for this in other people too, but to me, when you can make an impact in different scenarios that either you're comfortable in and you've been around, you know, for a long time, or that they're brand new to you, with people that are like you and with people that aren't, that you can bring out the best in them. If you're that adaptable, man, I think you can be successful. Putting yourself in a position where you're not the expert. It may not even be something, you know, I spoke at coaching school. I've never been a coach before, but I think that's the gift that I brought to it is, you know, I've been on the other side of that table when you're trying to get a job. And I want to learn and listen from you as well. So I think a big part of success is being able to impact people in different scenarios in different ways.
I love that. You know, now You're talking my language, Amy Anderson. Impact.
Good.
And I don't know if you knew this, but here recently I dropped a book called The Impact of Influence. And it's a compilation book with 17 guys just talking about, their people or things that has influenced them in such a manner that has impacted them.
Wow.
The lessons that they've learned from that, and then how they're using that to make a positive difference in our world. And so that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You've talked about several people within this interview that have influenced you and that have impacted you, caused you to be who you are. And then now the beauty of that is you learn those valuable lessons, transferable skills,
right,
adaptability. You learned all that stuff from seeing those people do those things.
Absolutely.
Right? And now you can do that for so many others, and just doing, a great part in the positive ripple effect, I think.
Oh man. And you know what? That is what leadership is influencing.
Come on.
Yeah. Anybody can get compliance.
No doubt.
But it takes a special person to know their audience enough that they can influence them. Yeah. To care enough about who's across the table that you can actually influence their behavior and pull the best out of them. To me, that's what leadership is. I'm gonna have to read your book.
Yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll get that to you. But before we get off, if you don't mind sharing with the audience where they can go follow you and check you out and show you some love.
Yeah. So my Twitter is probably where I do most of my professional communication. It's Amy Ruth 740 is my handle. So I would love to connect, and it's amazing the network professional network, and what you can learn on Twitter. I mean, that's how we found each other.
Yeah, that's how we connected. I think.
Yeah.
Social media is amazing, when you the right way, of course.
Yeah. Yes.
You can learn so many things, connect with so many great people, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
You just talked about coaching school. Like, it's several of those people that I have been connected with for a long time, but we have never met in person, because of COVID.
Wow. Yeah.
All those things, and then like coaching school gave us the opportunity to, hang out in person.
Right.
And that was great.
That's awesome. I should say too that I'm working with a company called Into Learning. Okay. And that's where I do leadership development and executive coaching and just anything that people need to help, reach their goals and make progress. That's kind of my passion right now. And I'm really excited to be working with that company and seeing to find some more people to impact and influence.
I love it. And I'm glad you said that too, because there will definitely be people that need those services.
Yes.
Need to reach out to you.
Give me a call.
Hit her up. Amy Ruth 740.
Yes, that's right.
Reach out to her.
Put it on the screen there. Yeah.
I love it. Well, just want to say again, thanks so much for taking the time to interview with the Success Chronicles. Truly appreciate it, and I wish you continued success.
Thank you, Chip. Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Yes, and thank you guys for checking out this episode. We'll see you next time. God bless.
God bless.
Go get it.